Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. We're rolling into week 2 of focusing on financials here in the month of July. I hope that you're staying cool. It is definitely warm here in Charleston, South Carolina. Always muggy and a little bit of rain. So hopefully it is beautiful where you are today, this amazing Wednesday. Let's go ahead and jump right on into our theme. How do you close a month from a strength perspective? How do you close a month strong? What does that look like? How do you do that? I talked to you last week about fear and how we as business leaders, because we're human, okay, and we bring our human selves into our business. How do we avoid and push away our fear in order to strive forward and successfully move our business forward? It can be tough, right? It can absolutely be a struggle. What I want to challenge you to do today is I want you to think about how you close a month strong. Because for me, as I work with clients, again, I find some patterns, and I want to share those patterns with you because you could be falling into one of those patterns. If I can help you avoid it, that's my goal, right? I get to coach you a little bit and mentor you and arm you with some strategies every week. And so today, I want to arm you with the strategies of how to close your month strong from a financial perspective. Usually in a startup, it's difficult to close a month from a strength perspective. If you've got the perfect balance, maybe you've owned a business before, or you watched other people run a business, and so you've got a good foundation, you tend to quickly move your startup into a growth phase. That startup lag doesn't take quite as long. For some other folks, trying to figure out the industry a little bit, trying to learn, and some mistakes are made because we all make mistakes as we run a business. Again, we're human. Many times it becomes difficult to hit a target for the month, especially a financial target, if we're in that early startup phase. And that's simply because, again, there's so many variables and we're trying to find the way that we can replicate that allows us to generate that revenue and serve those customers on a consistent basis. So again, because we're trying to find what works, it can be difficult to achieve those targets. And if we have a couple of months in a row, or 6 months in a row, or maybe a year, where we're trying to deliver to targets and yet we're not, as all humans do, we can become frustrated. Now, the best advice I can give you in that regard is you just have to keep trying. You cannot give up. You must continue to strive and try something new, and try something new, and try something new. That's what makes a successful business owner. You just have to keep trying. The odds will be in your favor if you continue to try, but if you give up, you will never make it. So that's step 1, is just keep trying. Now, from a financial perspective, how do you close the month strong? If you see that you're not going to deliver to your financial targets for the month, what do you do? There are 3 things that I have seen my clients most commonly do. 3 different pathways. All right, so I want to share those with you. I want to see if maybe you're falling into one of those pathways, and I want to give you a solution for it. So the first thing that some clients do, or that I've seen business owners do in general, is they don't hit a target. Maybe it's a couple of months in a row, and so they're like, forget it, I'm just not making targets anymore. Well, go back and listen to last week's episode if that's where you are right now. You must have a destination. You must be able to track your business. You must have targets. Don't allow your frustration to say, forget it, I'm just not going to create targets anymore. That will not serve you. The other thing that I see business owners do is I see them just stop tracking to their targets. They have them. It's not that they give up creating the targets. They have the targets, but they're like, I'm not going to look at how I performed. I think I did okay. It's close enough. And so, is that how you pay your taxes? Think about that. Do you pay your taxes close enough? Or does the IRS expect you to be precise? Well, they expect us to be precise, right? Absolutely. So I want you to be precise, and I want you to be focused on driving and delivering to your targets. So you have to measure your performance precisely. You need to know how you're doing. Minimally, so you know how much money to set aside to pay your taxes, right? All right, I'm going to stop talking about taxes because that's no fun. All right, so that's option or pathway number 2. The third pathway that I see is that These business owners, they have their targets, they're tracking their performance, but they see they're not going to deliver to their target. So they're just like, forget it. I give up. I'm not going to worry about it for the rest of the month. I'll pick it back up at the beginning of next month. And then they start over. But here's the thing. You have, in this situation or this example, you have a week or 2 weeks where you can still generate some revenue. There's still a customer out there that you could help serve. Don't give up on that. Don't give up on that customer who needs you. Don't give up on you when you know that you can deliver and achieve something, right? Think about it. We're getting ready to start watching the Olympics, right? They're going to be at the end of this month. Think about how many athletes get out there, and even though they see 2 people ahead of them, do they give up? No. They've trained their entire lives for this. So they're not going to give up. They're going to give it everything they have. They're going to leave it out there on the field or in the pool or wherever it is that they perform their sport. The same is true for you as an owner. Don't give up those last few days, those weeks, whatever it is. Don't stop. Don't say you'll pick it up. Every day matters. Every day there's a customer out there that needs you. Okay? If you want to put it in customer terms and service terms, think about it that way. Because we're talking about financials, what I want to say is every day you can generate revenue. Don't stop. Keep moving forward. If you generated 2 additional sales this month, that's better than nothing. That's better than if you gave up. Gave up is 0. Okay? So, how do you solve for this? Again, when the fear sets in, when the frustration sets in, how do you go back and remove the emotion out of this process? Because again, we bring our human selves into our business. How do you remove the emotion and run your business and you don't fall into one of those these 3 pathways or these pitfalls? The answer that I want you to pursue is I want you to create what I call your bang list. Okay? Your bang list. It's called your bang list because I want you to get the bang out of it. It's that bang for your buck. It's something that you know that if you go and invest a little bit of time and energy into it, you're going to generate revenue. I mean, it's a wonder for you. It is your go-to answer when you need to generate a little bit of extra revenue, okay? So it's that product that everyone always wants if you can make it. It's that service that you can offer. It's not necessarily something maybe you enjoy doing. It's maybe not even a common offering in your business because maybe it requires a little extra work or it's something that maybe just quite frankly you don't enjoy doing. But you know that if you pulled that out of your bag and offered it the last 2 weeks of the month, you're going to be able to generate revenue off of it. What is that for you? I want you to create your bang list. All of those products or services that you can just pull out of the bag that you know are going to deliver for you, that goes on your list. Okay? Such that whenever you get into week 2 or week 3 of the month and you're looking at how you're performing financially and you see, I'm behind. I've got to do something to get me back on track. You go to your bang list and you look at all the options that you have. And you say, okay, I'm missing this month by 2 customers. I'm missing this month by 4 customers, whatever it is. What on my list will get me back on track? It may not be the customer count that gets you there. It could be a high ticket offering, a really expensive something, and you just have to sell one of them to really get yourself back on track from a revenue perspective. What is that? What does that look like for you? So that now, again, you don't fall in the pitfalls. You don't fall into one of those 3. You don't just stop making targets. You don't stop tracking. And you don't say, well, whatever, I'm going to give up. I'm going to just focus on it next month. No. When you get frustrated and you get in that emotional state, you go to your bang list, a list that you've created when you're in that strong mental state, when you know what will produce for your business. You just go to it. That's your solution. You go try it. Now, will you be able to sell 40 of them if you're missing by a revenue of 40 whatever clients or customers? Maybe not. But could you sell 5 or 6 that would help you close the gap of your miss? Most likely. Probably. And I'm having to keep this really generic because each of you run a little bit of a different business. And your price points are different. If I worked with you one-on-one, what I would tell you to do is sit down and we would create your bang list together and we would price it out, and we would understand that if you're missing your target by this much, you need to sell this many. If you are missing your target by that much, then you need to go have X number of conversations and sell one really high ticket something, and we would create a strategy for you. What you need to do is sit down and create the same strategy. Create your bang list. What is it? It's your go-to. How much can you sell? What's the price point, rather? And then how many would you need to sell to close a gap? When you start missing in the middle of the month or the end of the month, go pull out your list, put the emotion aside, run the play. That is how you can close a month strong. That's your challenge. Create your bang list and start calling on it as you move through the rest of the year. Go and be legendary.